T5S2 stands for the Tactical Tortoise Tabletop Simulator Tournament Series. It is a global competitive 40K circuit that ranks players based on their results in online games, including events run by Tactical Tortoise and many other communities. At the end of each biannual season, the top 16 players in the series are given the opportunity to play for the title of Season Champion and become the greatest virtual 40K player in the world in this very event, the Seasonal Invitational Tournament. With over 400 players and dozens of tournaments competing on the ladder in Season 1, T5S2 is now one of the largest and most competitive series in online Warhammer and shows no signs of slowing down. So what are you waiting for? Visit tts40k.com to view live standings, join the community Discord server, and get information on upcoming events and tournaments. There is glory to be won on this virtual battlefield, Commander. Do you have what it takes to compete? Want to get involved in T5S2 or events? What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the T5S2 Invitational. We are back with Group 1. The Space Marine Group of Death, the only group in the Invitational with all three Space Marine players in it, and we have a rematch of the matchup that we saw last night. That is Cullen Burns versus one of the many Salamanders, the horde of Salamanders that he's going to have to try to cut through in order to make his way to the top 8 of the Invitational and the elimination stages next weekend. I want to thank everyone for joining me on the stream today. I do apologize. We had a little bit of a scheduling snafu earlier today. We had a couple games on stream that were either canceled or moved, and so this is the one that we ended up with. This one actually got pushed ahead a little bit, so we're going to be able to catch this one basically from the get-go. But I do apologize that some of the games on the schedule did get changed by the players. But this is, it's going to be a sick game, ladies and gentlemen, because we do have the same matchup that we saw yesterday, but the roles have been reversed. We are on Surround and Destroy for this game, and this time Cullen has won the role to go first, taking the first turn, and Dan P. over in the blue here, aka Apostle of Ruin, the #1 seed in the Invitational, going into the Invitational from Season 1, the Season 1 final standings, is on the defense. He's taken the defensive side of the table on Search and Destroy, taking up the defensive posture in these ruined buildings, and is ready to wait out the Eldari onslaught. Fortunately, able to hide most of his army because the Salamanders list is compress down very small and be very difficult to catch on the first turn. So I think he's going to be able to probably survive through this first round of shooting without taking too many casualties. That said, the Eldar will take a dominating lead in board control and probably be up on primary objectives going into round 2. Let's talk quickly about these lists, although we did see, we've already seen basically the same lists that we did yesterday, and so nothing much has changed here. Ethan Potter with the subscription to the channel, I really appreciate it, Ethan, and I do appreciate everyone for taking the time out of their afternoon to watch the stream and to hang out with me with some T5S2 coverage. We will be live tomorrow, all day tomorrow just about, and all weekend. You can find the stream schedule at tts40k.com/invitational, where you can also find the lists that we're about to discuss. Going over Cullen's list quickly, it is essentially a 9th edition evolution of the classic Eldari gunline, mechanized gunline that we saw at the tail end of 8th edition. It's bringing a spearhead detachment led by a Farseer out of the custom craft world with expert crafters, Master of Concealment. That's basically the only way to give cover to vehicles now that light cover doesn't affect them. There's basically no way to get cover onto vehicles from the standard sets of terrain that are available in the core rules. And so you're going to have to do it with one of these special sub-faction traits like Masters of Concealment. So that is a bit of a pivot from the 8th edition philosophy of just automatically taking masterful shots to ignore cover yourself, but now that vehicles themselves don't get cover, it's not going to be that big of a deal. That spearhead is bringing 2 units of 2 Hornets with double pulse lasers each, as well as 3 Falcons, 1 Falcon and 3 units of support weapon platforms, all with vibro cannons, so 9 total vibro cannons on the table. They've been a little bit nerfed, effectively, from 8th edition, because they can only stack their +1 to wound buff up to +1. They don't get the +2 that they did previously. So they're a little bit less efficient, but being able to move and shoot because they're not infantry anymore, or they're not infantry, and only infantry will suffer the penalty to move and shoot heavy weapons, means that they are going to be a little bit more accurate as they're maneuvering around the table. We also have a unit of War Walkers in that detachment with double star cannons on each of them. Again, basically just trying to maximize the efficiency out of the guns in this list and pull as many sort of mid-range shots as possible to get buffed up by Doom by those Farseers. We also have a second patrol detachment that brings in a second Farseer with the Falchu's Wing relic to get flying, as well as a unit of Rangers to fill that troops requirement, a third unit of Hornets for a total of 6 Hornets on the table, and 2 more Falcons for a total of 3 Falcons. So, like I mentioned, basically evolution of the old school version of the Eldari gun line. It's pivoting from focusing on fire prisms and Night Spinners, which have become a little bit less efficient in 9th edition, to move to these sort of an MSU style of smaller units. And then obviously Expert Crafters on those Vibro Cannons is extremely powerful, and those guys can put out an immense amount of damage. Moving over to Dan P's list, Dan Paolini, aka Apostle of Ruin, bringing in basically exactly what we saw yesterday, so this is going to be a rematch. The unkillable Salamanders captain on the bike with Forge Master, as well as the Salamander's Mantle and a Storm Shield to get him up to toughness 7 and -1 to be wounded with that 3+ invulnerable save. We have a Primaris Chaplain as well as a Lieutenant. The Chaplain's obviously been upgraded to be a Master of Sanctity and Master Orator, so that he is going to be able to cast 2 of those litanies and reroll the failed tests if he needs to. We have a selection of different types of intercessors. We have an Assault Intercessor Squad, an Incursor Squad, and a Standard Intercessor Squad, as well as 2 Tactical Marine Squads, just to follow up and sit on some objectives. A whole bunch of elites, a unit of 5 aggressors with Boltstorm Gauntlets. Obviously, excellent choice for the Salamanders list because they are going to be able to benefit from Crucible of Battle pretty well with the high volume of shots, and you can use the stratagem to count them as stationary to double fire their ranged weapons even if they moved or came on out of reserve that turn. We also have 2 units of Servitors to unlock 2 relic slots for 2 Relic Javelin attack speeders. These are souped-up land speeders that are focus more on survivability than they do on speed or damage output. They have las cannons and a heavy bolter each, but most importantly, they have an 8-inch aura, outside of which you will get -1 to hit them. Additionally, they go up to 9 wounds, so they're about half. Half, again, is difficult to take down as a standard land speeder, so interesting choices there. And obviously, that survivability is really going to benefit from having that Salamander's trait of ignoring 1 point of AP, although against Eldari, that's usually not super relevant because the Eldari are going to be putting so much AP2 and AP3 down on the table that it's tough to survive that. Last, but certainly not least, we have 2 Landspeeder Tempest squads with 2 Tempests in each. Those Tempests are excellent choices in 9th edition. They didn't get hit hard by the points increases. They have 2 D3 blast weapons, meaning that they, against infantry, a lot of times they will be maxing those at 6 shots. That are excellent Primaris killers. They're coming in at AP 3 and 2 flat damage with a strength of 6. So they're, again, a mid-range weapon like a lot of these Eldari weapons, that it's good against heavy infantry-style units like intercessors, and also solid at killing vehicles. And also a decent choice for Crucible of Battle as well on those guys. Not to mention they also have a assault cannon on them, so they can put out pretty reasonable volume of fire. We have a standard land speeder with a multi-melta and 2 eradicator squads to make use of that +1 to wound on melta weapons for the Salamanders in the Tactical Doctrine. Obviously, Cullen has taken the first turn here. We did jump in just after deployment, so we missed that stage of the game, but Cullen deployed right on the line, knowing he's going to go first, and is ready to dive in and deal a bunch of damage. It looks like the defensive deployment on Apostle of Ruin side of the table made it difficult for him to kill too much, and he's only killed a couple of Space Marines. Apostle with a lot in reserve, a unit of Eradicators as well as his aggressors, and interestingly, Servitors. It's an interesting pick. I think normally you want the Servitors to be sitting on an objective and just adding bodies there, but we may see those guys trying to get an engage on all fronts from the Salamanders here. For secondary picks, I think most of these are pretty well telegraphed when you look at the matchup. Cullen has taken Bring It Down. Obviously, that's going to be good on both sides. Both players bringing a plethora of vehicles, and especially light vehicles that are going to be easy to kill for that those juicy Bring It Down points. Cullen pivoting from taking his Psychic Ritual to Mental Interrogation. I think an interesting pick. Psychic Ritual requires you to deal less, perform less psychic actions to get it off, but the requirements are a little easier for Mental Interrogation. You just have to be 18 inches away from a character, and they're given that there's these Smash Captains, there's these Inquisitors, they're all going to be inside that 18-inch bubble of these Farseers at some point, and so Cullen's going to be able to farm them for a couple points on that Mental Interrogation. I don't hate that pick, although psychic actions are usually a little awkward, in my opinion, because a lot of times they will you'd much rather be dooming or guiding or something like that. Last but not least for Cullen, Surround Them. I think an interesting pick, but potentially pretty strong if he's able to force through one of these flanks, although it looks like he has deployed pretty balanced on both sides. Surround Them obviously being the mission-specific secondary objective for this mission. For Surround and Destroy. Surround Them scores you points if you hold the objectives in your deployment zone, as well as one or more of the objectives in your opponent's deployment zone. It is a big scorer, I believe 3 or 4 points every time you satisfy those conditions, but you do have to get all the way onto the other side of the table, which is a little bit hard sometimes. Interesting that Dan has actually moved entirely off of Objective 1 here. I wonder if that's going to come back and hurt him next turn, but I imagine he's going to be looking just to hold down 2 objectives every turn and score those minimum 10 primary points while trying to fight off this Eldar onslaught. Usually that's going to be the good game plan from the defending player. You're going to be up on attrition for the most part, but your opponent's going to be, with the first opportunity to score on primary objectives, your opponent will have more of an opportunity to run up that score, so you can usually be pretty assured as the first player that you're going to get a 15-point round 2, whereas the second player, the impetus is on them to sort of hold 2 objectives to score that minimum of 10, and then kill off whatever your opponent can send into the center and try to fight back from there. Over on the Salamander side of the table, Dan has taken Bring It Down as well, which makes a lot of sense. Engage in all fronts. Forcing him to get into 3 or 4 table quarters completely wholly with his units in order to score 2 or 3 points for that. And that one's a little bit tough, usually going second, because your opponent obviously can very easily either sort of body block you out of being able to cross the center or threaten a really powerful counterattack if you do send your units up there. That said, these Incursors are going to be good at scoring that, and the Servitors that we mentioned as well, coming in round 3, could potentially come in on the back table edge. So it looks like, yeah, these Incursors are moving up past the center of the table, so they're going to try to be getting that engage on all fronts early in the game. Last but not least for Dan, he has taken Raise the Banners High. A bit of an odd one on this map particularly. We saw that kind of go south a little bit for Keon on Monday, where she took that objective as well, and unfortunately was only able to put 2 banners down on these 2 back objectives that were, I think, eventually broken by Denith in that game. But really only being able to put 2 banners down on your first turn, and it looks like actually with his deployment, Dan might have actually only put 1 banner down this first turn, which is a little scary. Means that he's only going to be scoring a couple points from that in the early game, and obviously pushing banners into the center of the table is very difficult. Not only do you have to walk an infantry unit there, but then you have to hold that banner in place for an entire round to score any points off of it, and with the Eldar able to swing back in and kill those models and try to take that objective back, that's usually a little bit tough to max out your points on.
Start with this Eradicator.
Chat, yeah. Does somebody have the Sands of Time? This looks like the same matchup as yesterday. Yeah, it is reversed. The roles of attacker and defender have been reversed, so this is going to be a little bit different, which is going to be good.
7 damage. Does that get me to take it down? Cool. Good talk. This land speeder is going to put his multi-melt into there.
So we are in the Salamanders shooting phase right now. Obviously, Cullen only took out a couple of... It looks like he was able to knock out 2 Eradicators on his first turn, which is going to be a big deal. Those guys are incredibly dangerous to his army. But he also killed a couple of Tactical Marines, which are going to be a little bit less of an issue for him. However, getting those OBSEC models off the table quickly is important. But obviously, the defensive deployment out of the Salamanders made it very difficult for Cullen to take them out. I imagine also that he is going to be aiming for some charges. Dan, excuse me, is going to be aiming for some charges here. With a charge from one of these land speeders, he could potentially take this objective away from Cullen and remove that 15-point primary on the first turn, dropping him just down to 10, which is going to be unfortunate for the attacking player. And then the incursors on this side are going to be able to do the same thing and tie up these support weapons. And that will most likely score Dan the big 3-point engage on all fronts as well, which is a big deal. Not to mention that engaging these flying units is pretty good because obviously they can't fall back and fly without using the Eldar stratagem. Because it's 9th edition. That's just how things go now. This movement from the Hornets feels very aggressive to me. From Cullen's Hornets here. He just ran them right up the center, and they're going to be in range of this the captain to charge them. I'm not sure how much I like that, but we'll see how it ends up going. I do like the aggressive play on this side because Dan doesn't quite have the same sort of level of force projection over here. So pushing forward to try to push for Objective 1 since there's not really many OBSEC there, and you could potentially just turn around, pivot, and kill those Tactical Marines on the follow-up turn to basically ever deny this from ever being a target for banners unless Dan decides to drop servitors in on it, which is not really what he wants to be doing. So I think I would have liked to have seen Cullen's forces over here play more conservatively. You can even just sort of use these line of sight blockers to hide a couple of your units from these land speeders moving out from this ruin, and force them into the open as they move towards Objective 5. But we'll see how it works out for him. He is giving away these 2 Hornets and potentially this Falcon, I think, mostly for free. How are we feeling about the game, chat? This does feel like a very Alpha Strike heavy matchup. So I do think in this particular matchup, the player going first has a pretty big advantage. That said, if the defending player is able to counterattack this hard, then I think that you basically reverse the Alpha Strike there. I think the defending player is going to be doing significantly more damage in this case. I think we may run into the issue that that Cullen had in his previous Group 2 game or Group 1 game, where his army is just sort of physically too large to hide effectively, and even if he wanted to play conservatively, he could start to put models behind here. He could use this to hide his models, and he could put some behind these trees and force Dan out into the middle to fight him. He's going to run into the issue that, you know, he can only hide 1 or 2 Hornets in here before these land speeders can move out and see them. He can only hide 1 or 2 models back here before you're able to get some lines of sight from there. And the same thing goes over here. As soon as you can move a land speeder to here and see them, then it becomes a problem.
We're going to start with the Javelin.
So I wonder if this is another instance where maybe some strategic reserves out of Cullen would have been good to see. He can potentially go try to pop those incursors, keep the rest of his army safe, keep the Falcons out in reserve, and then move them in where they need to be on the top of 2. Obviously, strategic reserve is much more powerful for the first player because you're going to be able to bring them in before your opponent gets 2 rounds of shooting on you. And if Dan's going to deny Cullen's turn 1 shooting, you're not really losing anything from keeping those guys in. You're just going to lose a couple CP. Maybe even putting the vibro cannons in reserve, to be honest, because it looks like where Cullen's had to deploy them is mostly where they would be coming from reserve, either on this side or on this table edge anyway. And I guess they did get a couple lines of sight back here, but not much. Yeah, it looks like both Hornets in the center have gone down.
Or the Tempest. 20 on fours.
We'll send it back to the players' mics real quick here.
Make one.
And now the Hornets on the other side are going down. Yeah, Hornets a little too
You're
fragile
3 base?
to knife fight with a Space Marine army, I
I'm
think.
sorry.
You're a 3-up base.
Yeah, 3 up base.
The 4 should go through.
Oh, go through. Okay. You were over
Good.
12 or under 12.
Yeah.
So take the back one. Actually.
Or, okay, you want to go high even or high
4, 5, 6, maybe.
4?
Okay, we're good.
Then 43 left. 6 shots. 3 after Artisan. 4s.
Oh.
Master Artisan. So yeah, 2 of them.
4.
Hold up. 2 of them. I forgot to do it by model. 2 of them on 6 up. 2 of them no save.
Okay. So I'm assuming and you do 2 wins apiece, right?
D3 each.
D3.
Yeah.
Okay. So then roll the first 2 at a time. Roll one at a time. Because you could kill.
Oh.
D3. That doesn't.
Oh. Yeah.
Make 1.
So you take looks like 5.
5.
Yeah.
Is it low? Yeah.
Fortunate. You took 5 here, right?
Should be
Not
on it.
entirely
Alright.
sure what's shooting D3 damage out of these guys.
Good catch.
We'll put the foreign cursor shots in. They're outside of rapid fire. 3s.
Yeah, let's double check on that chat.
Master Artisan.
Dan, what's shooting D3 damage in your army?
Oh, are they flat too?
Yeah.
Oh my god. That is my fault.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Take it back. Take it back. Oh.
Weird.
I
Right?
think I just have some more wounds on them. It's fine.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You did 3.
Yeah, let's say
two,
those aren't
and then two
actually
over,
sort of.
so I'm up 1, and then you.
There are a lot of missiles that deal D3 damage, but not the
Yeah.
Tempest ones. They deal 2.
Charlie, good catch. I'm sorry.
Good
Poor form.
catch.
Yeah, I was sitting here
What
for like 30 seconds. I was like, what is shooting right now? Like, is he throwing grenades? Like, what?
So 2 saves on your.
I started
Hornet, they
looking,
will cover.
Chad. I started looking for auxiliary grenade launchers in the Salamanders list. Like crack grenades is the only thing I could think of.
Okay. What's the movement on the Falcon?
16. Sorry, I flew my mouth. 16.
Okay. Well, that's all my shooting. Go to charge phase. I may have fucked up again. Give me a second. I don't know if I'm supposed to do it in my movement phase or not. Where are you?
Yeah, so this seems like it may be the writing may be on the wall for the Salamander army here into these Eldar. Dan, it looks like is killing around the same amount of stuff that Nick did in the game last night, except that Nick was able to do it going
I fucked
first,
up.
and now we're going second with no casualties on the Salamander side of the table.
Well,
But that
next
said, we
time.
did see an immense amount of damage coming out of this
Okay. Charge phase.
Craftworlds army yesterday. Was able to
We're
kill
gonna
all of the
go-
almost all of the
Yeah,
land
what
speeders
was
on the
the
table
guy?
in one turn.
2 star cannons and 2 pulsators.
And the undergun. 4 shots.
Sure, we'll charge with the land speeder. Would you like to Overwatch?
I'm gonna, fuck yeah. I'm gonna spend a CP. We're gonna Overwatch. Pulse.
Artisan. Hey.
Yeah, I think this does feel. I mean, I don't know if it's a go first matchup as much as it's a whoever's able to hit hit hard first. And I do think that placement here, the positioning from Cullen feels a little too aggressive to me.
Cannon.
But we'll see how
Yeah.
he's able to fight back.
And undergun. Nothing. Come on in.
we did actually Overwatch off of from Cullen there into this land speeder. It's down to 3. All right, did a little bit of damage. And it looks like, are we gonna try to see that guy squeak past the midline? Nope, I guess we're not. But we could still consolidate, I guess.
The captain will charge both. I need a 9, looks like. Or no, I need 10 to get in there.
Yeah, maybe just charge the 1 so you only need a 9.
One.
Yeah. Ooh.
Is it worth it?
I wonder if the plan was to charge with this Tempest, maybe declare that first to see if you engage those guys.
Appreciate you bringing your guys closer to my weaponry. I can shoot them now without moving.
They're not blast?
No, I'm not saying that. I mean, all my Warwalkers and my Vibro Cannons and the Hornets are all going to be able to, if you move towards them, I'm going to be able to shoot you without having to try to wiggle through the center of the line of sight while you trade. I mean, it's your call. I'm not just.
Yeah, I was trying to hit him in. Fair point. All right, we'll pat.
We definitely also need to charge these incursors in.
Go to the incursors.
Yeah, there you go. I was a little worried that Dan was gonna forget those guys on that objective. We need to score that engage on all fronts.
Not on the train.
No.
Okay.
Only a 3-inch charge though. All right. Well, this is I think a pretty solid turn from Dan. He was able to kill a whole boatload of Hornets. And kill half the Hornets on the table.
Sure.
And really take some dominating position in the center as well to block off holding for Cullen. A big strength of obviously this Salamanders list is its mobility and being able to just run incidental.
Or can you still? Can't remember.
What's the question?
Can you cast psychic powers into combat, or
yeah, yeah, you just can't fall back in cast.
Got
That's
it.
the only restriction. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't think chat. I do think engaging the vibro weapons is going to be good, especially with the captain. You sort of want the Eldar to have to sink attacks into the captain, and that's
they're going to both
maybe worth a reroll.
Incursors will be in the half inch of each other.
Okay.
I'm going to be swinging into this one.
Okay.
So some good combat positioning from Dan here.
One extra for the
keeping all the intercessors within half of an inch of each other so that they can all fight into this support weapon platform, and that means if they kill that, because these split off into individual units, if they kill it, this one's going to be wrapped.
Yes, correct.
Master Artisan.
Felt it.
So only plinking 2 wands off of that one. I would like to see a piling consolidate from this javelin now.
On to you, sir. Or actually, yes, never mind. We got to do these.
Because this guy's going to have to move pile and consolidate over here.
Considering they have three ups.
Oh yeah, that's right. Your guys is
strength 4. Is it strength 4 too? Yeah. So 3 attacks and 7 attacks. All right. Red will be the javelin.
Sure.
Dan just rolling all of his land speeder attacks here.
Bullshit.
I almost wonder
fives.
you could have seen a cheeky counter assault from Cullen to try to pin those two guys in so that they couldn't move to max that engage on all fronts. I'm not sure that that's really worth the TCP, but it does
Swing back, sir.
it does nab a point from your opponent. I guess it doesn't matter if Dan just doesn't pile in and consolidate with that javelin. Though.
Why not?
Right? Why not? I think your toughness is question mark. 5. I am strength. 6. 3s. 5, 7. 2 wounds.
Yeah, the downside of this charge over here, chat, was that there were 2 Hornets that Cullen had put in the way, and the captain couldn't get any farther forward, so he was looking at a 9-inch charge on these guys. The real question is whether it's worth a CP reroll on that, and I feel like it might be, since his first roll was so bad. Just to get that guy up there and engage those 2 support weapons and start knocking those things out. Obviously, Vibro Cannons chain really powerfully. The more you have on the table, the more effective all of them are going to be. But
1 wound.
Dan deciding to play more conservatively with his CP, which is fair.
Slap fight.
That also it gives you another option to confirm engage on all fronts.
Yeah.
And Cullen really doesn't want to have to attack that guy. Basically, the only way to reliably kill him is to smite him. And I think only one Farseer is in a good position to do that. I don't know where... Oh, his other Farseer's back, hiding behind the Warwalkers.
So that was the exact same damage that I took when Nick...
Colin commenting he's taken the exact same number of casualties that he did against Nick the other day. This time, though, he got to kill 2 Eradicators and some Tactical Marines before the game started, or before those things came in and hit him, so there you go. Another thing I think Cullen maybe should consider is using this dense cover to help in this
I meant
firefight.
to spend a command point that I forgot about. That's why I was saying, like, I fucked up. I was supposed to put an invulnerable save on them.
You could potentially be moving... I think he might do it with these Hornets, but be moving these Warwalkers into the terrain here so that they are firing through it. Obviously, they ignore it themselves, but the return fire won't. And that minus would have hit is a real big deal. Even against Salamanders with all their rerolls, just forcing them into a 50-50 failure rate is pretty good. But now the battle lines are engaged at this point. All of the speeders are out on the table. And now Cullen's going to be positioning to try to block off as many landing zones for his for the strategic reserves that the Salamanders have as possible. I think he's doing a pretty good job, although I think I guess they can't be brought in on the attacker's table edge on bottom 2, but they could be brought in along these sides. So he's doing a good job of blocking those off and preventing the Salamanders from getting any additional forward momentum.
Blocked. Go there. Senior commander. They can see through this terrain, correct? I believe so. Yeah, it's just light cover, difficult, perfect.
Yeah, Chad, as we saw yesterday, the Salamanders don't need their whole army
Was your
to win this game.
Farseer on the train?
He was over here. He was off to the side.
Yeah, the Farseer wasn't slowed down by it. The damage output, the matchup sort of between these profiles is very favorable, I think, for both armies, which is an interesting kind of conundrum. The difference being that the Salamanders kind of provide such a variety of threats that what we saw yesterday was that the Eldar started to fall apart, given that they had nothing really backline. And it does look like Cullen is playing a little bit more or able to play a little bit more conservatively here, which I do like. And I think I would be tempted to desperate break out the support weapons platform as well, so he can vaporize those incursors. Those guys are going to be problematic if they stick around.
But they're a squadron, though, correct?
Yeah. But if you kill the first model, yeah.
should be okay. So there. He's on that objective. We're gonna kill them.
I'm worried about this Farseer. She seems a little far away from her bodyguards. Could eat a couple missile launchers and get blasted.
Objective. Need some decent psychic powers though. Okay. We'll start with. I think I moved everything, and Falcon's gonna stay in combat. Shoot. They're gonna stay because they can shoot too. Okay. Second phase. My Farseer with Guide and Fortune is going to start off with Smite to those guys in front of him. Goes off a 9.
Big smite into the incursors. I wonder if Cullen, just hoping he can knock the incursors out with the smites and the shooting from the support weapons. Seems a little bit awkward though.
Gotta take 1 mortal wound. Okay. And they're gonna guide on the Warwalkers.
Is that a reroll too? Into one into one? That's too bad.
Use my Eldar roll. Roll just 1 dice. Goes off. Guide on the Warwalkers. She's gonna cast Executioner on those incursors. The other Farseer. Executioner.
Which one?
The one from the Warwalkers.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yep. Executioner on those ancestors. Gotta use my roll. And I hate tabletop sim. Okay, cool. Smite.
Missed it with the runes of the Farseer and the Executioner to kill those incursors. That would have been big 2d3 mortal wounds because the first d3 would have automatically killed the wounded incursor.
So that's dead.
Too bad there.
That's dead.
Now, it looks like we smited instead of dooming.
And I'm gonna doom for 1 extra psychic power.
Okay, now we're gonna spend the CP to cast again. All right, and then we're gonna doom these
number
tempests.
1.
Yeah, that's a good call.
No, the ones.
Although we already have runes of the Farseer and Commander reroll. It looks like so. Maybe.
Of course, it doesn't go off. Okay, cool.
Yeah, unfortunately, relying on those 7s is a little bit awkward without really building into the psychic support that you can force through in an Eldar list. Just having 2 sort of standard Farseers with no other help can be a little dicey sometimes.
So I need 4s, 2 hits, 2 at -3. Oh, that was missed.
Into the wounded one.
Yeah.
Fixes.
He's super dead.
Blow up. Does.
Hey! Does. They do D3 or just 1? I can't remember.
I think it's just 1.
Yeah, they're only 6 toughness. So I'm down to 11.
So it looks like that's the Falcon shooting into melee there with those big guns never tire.
Javelin.
Yep.
Killing the standard land speeder
My Warwalkers are going to shoot into
to take that objective away from
Yep.
Apostle Bruin, and then we're going to try to shoot down these Tempests. I am worried about Cullen's ability to kill these incursors, because if he doesn't, then Dan's going to be scoring 15 primary on his second turn, which is on top of or bottom of 2, which is not really where you want to be as the attacking player. You would like that to be you.
Toughness 6, I believe. I need 4s. Partisan. 5. -3. Because they're T. 6, yeah.
Make 2.
That's not bad.
Damage.
D3.
Okay.
Looks like some solid saves out of Apostle Ruin here.
Yep, there it is.
And not even killing a single
4
Tempest.
damage total.
Ooh.
Man, I.
Poor D3. The D3 damage weapon's not coming around here for Cullen.
Okay. Moving on.
But he does have a lot of other shooting that's going to go into those guys.
My Viro Cannons that are in close combat are going to shoot at the guys that are in front of them.
Really missing that Doom.
Viro Cannon, how many shots? Dos. Hitting on 4s. Artisan. Yes. Don't roll a 1. 1 wound on the incursors.
AP.
Neg 1.
So 3 up. Damage.
2.
Is that the last one from there?
So that's the first one that shot. The other one is a shoot. It's a combat.
Oh, well, one Vibro Cannon does take out the first incursor on this side.
This one shot then?
I wonder if Dan considering a CP reroll to keep that guy alive and force the other one to kill both of them. No,
last one.
No, I'm asking which one did you say shoot?
Yeah, that was the one that shot.
Okay, so all right, yeah, whatever.
Next one has 1 shot. 1 hit.
Wounds on a 2
1
here.
wound,
Yep, there you
make
go.
2.
Punches through the
Your
armor.
strength 8.
Strength 7 plus 1 because I already got a hit.
Oh, so okay, yeah. Duh. Good.
Womp womp. Okay. Oh, I have the gunner. I got the gunners too. You mind if I shoot them? Dan?
Yep.
I got the gunners.
Yeah.
Hitting on forest. Wounding on force. Because I already. Oh, I actually I had an artisan. 2. 1 is rending, so one is -3. Nice.
3 up.
Just like the way the game goes. Is that 1? Okay, moving on.
Puts that incursion down to 1 wound.
Back here, not your speeder.
So he's going to be
Yep.
obsecking that objective away from those vibro cannons.
It's the back one.
So we go through
Let's
the
see. Random runs
shot,
away, I
not
guess.
shot.
Correct. How many shots? It's 4 in a row. Hits. You got 3. 1 at -1.
All right, 3 up. Good.
I
Next
do. I am interested that there's no
Dos.
infantry for Dan over on this objective.
2 hits.
That's obviously going to give Cullen an easy out to score surround them on that side,
Your strength 6.
which is going to be a really big
Tough
deal
as
going
6.
into the later game.
Okay. 2 wounds, -2.
And especially since there's no
Let's go through.
banner on that objective, or it's going to be difficult for Dan to
And
place a
last
banner
one,
on that
last one
objective.
of that group.
That's going to be a big swing point of the game, I think, is the
2.
fight over this objective. I wonder if that's where we see Dan bring in a lot of his reserves over into this side to deal with that.
Yep.
1 at -3.
6 up.
2 damage. Does he blow?
Good question.
Okay. That is all 3 of those.
So you have your 2 hornets and your falcon over here, right?
3 hornets.
Over there and then over here, correct?
Yes, and I have this gun here. And everything over there. But that gun, I think I can see your tail. Can I think I can see him? His ass end right here.
I don't. I would say.
Looks
Yeah.
like I can see just.
Yeah, I would say yeah.
Okay, he'll shoot the last one. How many shots? Hey, there's 3. Yep, there it is. 2 hits. 2 at -3.
Oof. that
4 damage.
+1 to wound coming out of those vibro cannons really doing work here. Wounding almost all of these land speeders on 2s is brutal.
Okay.
Usually those vibro cannons get to
Falcon
wounding
is
things
just
on
gonna do,
4s, and that's already pretty good. 4s or 3s, but man, wounding on 2s with the Master Artisans is almost 100%
Star
conversion rate
cannon
through those
and pulse in the guy in the back.
with those big 2 damage shots.
Star
That's
cannons first.
brutal against these land speeders.
Every fucking roll. Artisan, 1 hit. Artisan. Tabletop sim, you're such a good girl. Okay, and the 2 pulse and the guy in the back.
Both hit.
Hits.
3s.
2
Oof.
go through. God, this game is wonky.
Oh, what is this roll?
6s. We're good.
6s, yep. Paint them both. Look at that.
Dan cranking those
Okay.
6-up saves this
Moving
turn.
on.
Holy crap.
This Hornet Squad, I'm gonna shoot.
Dan's just taking all the 6s away from Cullen out of the dice roller.
What is this right here? Let's go. I'm gonna shoot 1 into this, and I'll shoot 1 into these guys right here.
Okay.
So the 1 into that 1 vehicle. Yeah. Not gonna artisan. Oops. Get in there. Get in there. I won't artisan for that either. So 3 at -3. 2 damage. Does he blow?
Oh yeah.
6 into those Marines. I will Artisan.
So 1 unit of Tempest getting taken out.
3s. I will Artisan. 4 at neg 3.
And the big question mark is the 2nd unit of Tempests.
3 dead.
Ooh, yeah, and 3 tactical Marines from that on that side. That flank
Hornet
going down.
is going to
Definitely want to take those OBSEC away.
The one that's right there in front of him.
That's going to be tough for Dan to come back from unless he starts planting.
Oh, look at that
Ooh,
roll.
that roll was terrible. Unless he starts planting his reserves on that flank, it's going to be difficult for him to fight over that objective.
Hey, 2 at neg 3. 2 dead. She wasn't the prettiest girl at prom, but she put out. So that is this side of the board. Moving on. Cool. We'll do the Viro Cannon into the Tempest guy right here. How many shots? Trice. Artisan. 3 hits. Artisan. 2 at neg 1.
3 up.
They have a 2-up save? Question mark.
3 up.
1.
Hey, Cullen, forgetting if he's
And
playing Salamanders.
Because I ignore AP1.
Correct. So,
Is your scaling AP?
Next one.
Is it because of wounds dealt or hit?
Hit.
Okay, so I just take 2. You have 1 left to shoot plus the Falcon, right?
Correct.
That's been the TP here.
Every time. Tabletops in. Does he blow?
No.
Okay. Last one, same target. 3. That's good. See them hits. 3 hits. 3 wounds, neg 2. 4 damage.
Still alive though.
Still alive. Falcon is going to Star Cannon into him, and then pulse into the guy in the back. And then he's going to small arms. Those small arms are your guy.
Can you declare him?
I can't declare him, right? Never mind, my bad. He'll just small arms into the speeder. That's right in front of him.
Okay.
Okay, so the Star Cannons. 2 hits. Artisan. 1 at neg 3. Hey, D3 damage. Oh, yeah. 2 damage.
So that's all the Tempest taken out.
No.
Good start for the Eldar.
And pulse into the guy in the back.
But and also, I think important that Cullen did take the opportunity to start taking out Dan's OBSEC infantry as well. But those Salamander reserves are going to be brutal in the coming 1 to 2 rounds.
5 Rangers to shoot at your captain, I guess. Like, sure, why not? Artisan. Oops.
I don't think that. Oh wow, that was a terrible roll. That's a good place for that roll.
Hey, I got a 4.
Is this random one?
Woo! No. I needed the sniper rounds. They're strength 4, but on a 6 it causes mortal. But
Yeah, I'm not sure the mortal wound rule triggers in this case. Actually,
you're
if that
running
guy
on
has
sixes, I think.
Salamander's mantle.
yeah, but I needed 6s to cause a mortal. Okay, so that was that. Charges. My Farseer is going to
Unless
charge
the
last
ranger
person.
gun is unmodified, which I'm not sure.
Did I shoot everything? Did I shoot everything? Shot.
What are we doing? Sorry,
Shot. I'm kind of thing. My Farseer over here is going to charge into your guy.
Okay.
Ooh, we'll see if the Farseer can take out that Incursor. Go get her. Go get him, girl.
5 will be enough.
Yeah. Ooh, barely. Ooh.
And then my other support weapon's going to charge into him too.
We're really trying
Why not?
from Cullen.
5.
More than that.
Okay, can you check for me?
Yeah, that should be good. Maybe not.
No. Because you can't go straight through.
So 5.3.
7, maybe?
Let's see here.
Because the back of your base has to clear here.
4 to 2.
Yeah, you can just copy and paste the model to proxy out the path it goes on.
I don't think it makes it though. Well, I guess.
I don't think it gets into something.
I think it's really close. I think maybe? Question mark? Yeah, I think so. Just by barely. By
Can you... Do the guns themselves count for movement?
yeah, yeah.
So you'd have to be, like, here. So not to clip it.
Oh, okay. I mean, I should have charged the other one either.
But
That's fine.
no,
But
you only use their base for measurement, right? Because they don't have the grav tank rule.
Oh, I just was wondering. Okay.
Yeah. So if he goes 4 inches to here, he'll go 2 more inches and be within 1. So it looks
Okay.
like if he moves to there, then it'll be okay.
And then the last one will charge too. Which I should charge first. This is gonna be pretty high. This is gonna need a high roll, I think. 9 should be enough. Yeah,
If you... Okay. I thought you didn't even have to do that.
that's fine. That's it for charges. We'll start with the, I guess what I charged with. So the Farseer. Start with them. 2 attacks. Hits on 2.
We're really trying to kill this
Hits on 2s.
this incursor with these vibro cannons.
1 wound at dash.
3 up.
Okay. And then I have 2 walkers that charge, so 2 attacks apiece. Artisan. Artisan. 1 wound. Hey.
That's
There it goes.
Got him. All right. Well, there you go. We did pull out the
then
kill on the
start with
incursors
my
there. Finally.
I guess. I get to activate.
I activate first.
Ah, crap.
We'll see if this
Bruce.
this javelin
I stars in
can knock out a falcon in melee.
5s.
Nice. Nice.
I think that was 1 too many attacks.
Okay.
Not that it matters.
Nope.
Javelin's only
Back.
only got 3. So that was weird.
Artisan. No. Maybe a 6. Nope. Hope it's still 6. Okay. I hold 1 on your backfield, so that's the at least a bonus. At the end of your command phase, if you hold that, so I get 4. Ah. And then I think I got some points on this, probably. You have, how many speeders left? 2. I'm at 9. 12, question mark. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we killed 3? I have killed 1, 3, haven't I? Oh, yeah, 4, 5. 5, 2 points apiece, 10 points. Okay, brother, it's your turn. The hold 1.
Yep. I'm assuming you have...
All right, so we are back over to the Salamanders at bottom of 2 here. And Dan down to only scoring 1 on primary objectives, which is brutal.
Bring in reserves on.
Sorry,
And,
I'm just measuring just to see where I need to
I
be.
assume 1 banner.
my
I don't know
movement
if
is
he's
not
marked
done.
his banners out.
Okay. I'm gonna go have a cigarette while you're doing everything.
Yes.
Okay. Be back.
Dan, do you score a banner this turn?
Nope.
You didn't put
I've-
one over here?
I technically did not declare it.
Okay.
I would like to say that I did, but I honestly did not.
Ooh, that's a big misplay there from Dan, unfortunately. I'm not getting any points for round 1 on banners, and not really being in range to put any additional banners down. He's going to be able to plant that one on objective 6 over here, but that's it. You got to spawn some little fun banner models, then you never forget, because it's always exciting to put the fun banner models on the table.
They're going to advance.
And the Tactical Marines looks like running away from Objective 1. It's an interesting move. We'll see how these Salamander reserves are end up doing, but I think the missing out on a couple points there. Dan should also have an engagement on fronts from last turn. Should have 2. But Dan missing out on a couple secondary points there. He easily could have double scored engaged on fronts for the full 3. And he easily could have banners at least one time. And those little points I think are gonna come back to bite him in the end. Not to mention, I'm honestly shocked that there wasn't a tactical squad sitting inside this building here. Because this is the perfect place for a squad to tow in. They do take up a lot of real estate. Even servitors, I think, would be solid for it because they're a little bit smaller. I guess he was probably more worried about blocking line of sight to his land speeders, so he didn't lose too many on the first turn. But yeah, that's a big mistake, I think, on Dan's part, allowing Cullen to grab that objective from him. We'll see if he's able to recover with these reserves coming in, but it's not looking amazing for the Salamanders right now.
+1 to...
Although, obviously, his follow-up damage is going to be brutal this turn.
No, not even more about.
So where do we see these Salamanders going? I do like that. I guess these 2 tanks are just gonna just running into each other and continually blasting their weapons. This is basically me playing a vehicle in any FPS. I just run into the other Warthog, right, and we're just shooting our guns at each other and jumbling around in circles. But looks like the intercessors are moving out. We're gonna see this captain blitz forward and probably try to take out this Falcon. As well as this absolutely enormous Indominus Lieutenant. I guess he's just a scaled-up tactical marine, but that's amazing. Yeah, unfortunately, the Rangers are going to be a little bit of an issue for Dan, although the fact that they're not entirely in cover is a big deal. They're not going to be benefiting from that +1 save and the -1 to hit.
So much movement.
This Inquisitor is just going to advance.
It looks like we may be lining up to put the aggressors towards Objective 5. That is where they have the most benefit, but man, giving up Objective 1 would be brutal.
So it's got to be right here, over on the right side of there.
Well, so it's pulling from the center base. So it's like right here.
Or you don't have free on, you have your you have snap on.
Yeah, I have snap on.
It's like right there, right?
Yep.
Yeah, maybe lining up to try to avoid a forewarned from these.
Oh, is it from the is it from the Farseer to seize or the unit?
It's the unit.
A forewarned from the Warwalkers. Obviously, that lets them shoot as soon as an enemy comes in from
So,
reserve.
Farseer.
As long as they're within 6 inches of a Farseer. The
Wasn't gonna
Farseer.
say anything unless you asked.
The Farseer will tell them about it, and then the unit will blast them. Not great to give your opponent a free round of shooting, although these aggressors, I don't feel like you need to bring them in right now. If they don't have a good drop, the aggressors will be just left out in the open to get shot. If they aren't able to really kill Wick and threaten them as soon as they jump in. But I do like that Dan is being cognizant of that.
It has to be within 6 inches
Ability.
of the Farseer.
The unit has to be within 6 inches of the Farseer, correct?
Though I imagine, I wonder if you could potentially be placing them in the back here. You do block a lot of the Warwalker's line of sight. I'm not sure if Forewarned is worth it for one
Mind if I take
Warwalker
this
to
back
shoot
a
at
little
you,
bit?
especially if you're in cover. And
I
putting these
I meant
guys
to move this over
sort
just
of
a little
along this
that's-
line
you're
here,
already the deep strike thing.
I think could really, to hit the Falcon could
Okay.
be the way to go.
Unless has nothing deep struck in them yet, or did you put those right there? The eradicator
I-
placed.
Technically, haven't placed anything yet.
Okay.
Or else aggressors would be in the middle of the table where they're not supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to just make sure, because you got to make sure that you finish your movements, then you go into deep strike. Because once you hit
Yeah.
deep strike, it's the end of your movements. So that's why it kind of matters, because didn't put him in a point where you can shoot much? Question mark.
So that's fine. He'll be there where you can see it.
You just make sure the Javelin over here isn't hanging off the table.
That's what I'm saying. Can I move it? Because it can't be there.
Yeah.
Are we fine with moving it?
Yeah, it can't be placed where it is right now.
Okay. And yeah, let me just
Yeah, chat. Let's get an update on this score here.
And Danny boy, what are you
I'm-
doing? Killing me, boy. Killing me.
brother, I'm not actually
It's all good.
We got five
like,
five
I
vehicles
still
dead
need
for
to move
bring
the
it down.
captain. I still need to figure out where I need to fit in stuff. Like that's why I haven't declared. You feel?
Yeah, I got you, but like I said, you gotta make sure everything's in the right order. It's all good.
Yeah, a bit of an awkward discussion. You can measure anything
Also,
at any
you
time
can't
in
move him
40k,
because
so
you've
you
already
could.
done your deep strikes.
You can.
That's what I'm saying. I haven't declared deep strikes. Like I was pre-measuring stuff to see where stuff would fit in.
You can effectively proxy
Oh,
out
I mean,
placements on the
they're
table
placed.
before you declare that they're placed down.
I mean, I'm sorry, man. I think those are placed.
When I said like, hey, I'm not declaring deep strikes, I'm still measuring stuff. Right? Follow?
I
Like
know, but
5 minutes ago.
But you already placed the aggressors here, and then pulled them off when you knew what I could do. I could shoot them. Then you placed the eradicators here, and then you moved this guy, and then you replaced the eradicators.
Yeah, pre-measuring model placements is fine. That doesn't have to constitute the final position of your models. You can proxy models out on the table at any point.
Cool.
And the War Walkers are individual units or a squad?
It is one squad.
Okay.
So interesting move by Dan here to be aiming at the War Walkers, maybe going for the Farseer to get Doom off the table. But I guess he's reasonably efficient into those War Walkers. You could get him down to winning on twos, and he two shots them with the hammer. And since those Rangers on our objective 5, unless Dan has a reasonable way to kill them this turn, I think it would be awkward to put the captain on that objective. But if he turns around and is able to kill them with the intercessors, they do have audible rifles. Cool. Then the captain could go in and punch the Falcon and contest that objective.
Psychic phase, we're gonna
although
try to.
That would still leave
I forgot CP.
CBRN on 2 objectives, so it's not. I guess not that big of a deal, but I think you do block him from getting the full 15.
Cannot stop you. 2 damage, got it.
Alright, we'll go to that intercessor squad. They're going to shoot the same spot. 15 shots.
Chat.
Pew, pew.
I'm not sure what the discussion about forewarn is for. There are no deep strikers in range of a potential forewarn target.
Oof.
The only reserves that came in this turn were over here.
You do get cover, but it's AP1.
Okay, so 4 up. Not enough. Loop.
Ooh. Looks like those assault intercessors going in, taking out a support weapon platform.
Throw a frag grenade.
Sure. In cover, so -1.
A master artisan.
Alright. The saddest frag grenade that has ever been thrown, I think.
Chat.
One shot fails to.
Lieutenant's going to shoot
solid.
the support weapon there.
Okay.
Master artisan. Winning on 5s. Master artisan. AP0.
Good.
The javelin is going to shoot into the Falcon.
The support weapons have a 4+ armor save.
Yeah.
So
But
what?
he's-
Oh,
yeah.
he's covered from from the ability.
No, he's
does
outside
he?
cover.
Oh, he's outside cover? Okay, so he takes goes through. Is it just
2.
1 damage? 2. Cool.
2 damage.
I saw that 9-inch bubble. It was this guy over here. Drop it. Oops. Oh, that's not. Okay. We're good.
Yeah, Inquisitor. I think it's a nice pick as well because it gives you an out for Psychic Ritual too.
What's up, man?
So you can't if
I'm
you
just
play
gonna
against
sit
sort of a Psychic heavy army, they can't just sort of for free try to Psychic Ritual you
yeah,
because you have a bunch of denies that you can set on.
What do you mean?
For 60 points, it's a pretty good call.
I am still learning the GT rules, and this is an invitational. So, yeah.
Sure. I mean, you don't have to. We can still play it out. We got time.
To what end? You winning?
I mean, it's tough.
We even talked about me raising banners down here, and I didn't officially declare it.
Shit. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the screen. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, it's not. I did a lot of damage last turn. I did a lot more than I thought I was gonna do. But I mean, the question is like how you gotta pull me off these 2 objectives and be able to hold.
Looks like he may not be feeling the game right now. Which is fair. I do think Cullen is in the driver's seat, but with so much in reserve, it doesn't feel like it. It feels like a bit of an overreaction, I think, this early in the game.
Yeah. Any negs?
3 up. Neg 3.
Okay, so make
4 damage.
Okay.
So, Relic Javelin just taking chunks out of this Falcon.
Winning on 5s. Master Artisan. 1 save, AP1.
Cool. Nope.
Boom. Almost half kills it with its ranged attacks. In melee. Pretty strong.
The relic javelin's going to shoot these hornets.
Okay, I will let you fast. So fast.
4 ups. 3 wound. Master Artisan.
Boom. That's the secret tech there, chat. Is you pull a different die out to reroll your dice in the dice roller. That always works.
3 damage.
I think I would have liked to have seen this javelin go into this hornet. I don't think that these. I guess these eradicators do have line of sight here. Maybe you shoot those first to see what they get. But I do think you need. Well, maybe he's just hoping to get charges on that to hold that. But man, I would really like to see this this hornet get killed by that javelin, or get at least hit by that javelin. Obviously, the javelin didn't kill it. Although without the lightning fast on it, it probably would have. And I'm not sure if Cullen lightning fasts a single hornet.
The eradicators.
Oh, I got you.
I'm gonna spend a command point here to reroll that. On a 5 up, I may get it back. I don't. So 5 go through.
Okay. Neg 4.
Neg 5.
Okay, so no save.
I believe I'm outside of 12 inches by a long shot.
Oh yeah.
So you have how many wounds left? 5.
8, 13.
Oh no, for the first one.
5. Nice.
So that's dead.
Yep. Let's roll.
That's dead.
Eradicators knock out those 2 hornets even through lightning fast. That was insane.
It's not a matter of me wanting to quit or not quit. It's more that I will not be able to beat you.
Eradicators are so good.
Yeah. Eradicators,
Okay,
yeah. Getting in, wounding basically, or literally this entire army on 2s for 2 wounds, for 2 rounds is a big old deal.
Go to charge phase.
Cool.
The servitors are going to charge your.
All right, well, we got a couple tries to get some models on that objective number 1.
Thing.
We'll see if we do it.
Cool. I can't stop you.
Yep. All right. 9 up.
I'm gonna CP roll that maybe.
We'll charge with the other one.
Yeah, I guess you can check to see if the other one makes it. Nope.
Spend a command point
And
there.
then, yeah, we'll CP this one. These 9-inch charges are so dicey. Oh, he misses it by 1. Sad. That is too bad.
Captain's going to declare a charge on your Farseer.
Although I don't think that there's anything on this side of the table that's going to be able to go hold that objective for Cullen. And unless I'm mistaken, I think he does have to control that in order to score his surround. Secondary.
You'll consolidate.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be. I don't have to charge him.
You cannot be within an inch of them, correct?
Your turn.
Okay, did you fail the charge?
Ooh.
Jesus Christ. That was... You failed 4 charge rolls. 4.
Yeah, Captain
I know.
looks like...
Statistically, that should not have happened, sir.
Yikes. Flubbed a 4-incher. Yeah, maybe that's the one you save the reroll for and just hope you get one of the 2 of the 9s.
I'll get the swing back.
Oh, actually, fuck it. Javelin into your Hornet.
There we go.
And there's the 9 finally out of 3 of them. That's too bad. Yeah, I think maybe a sequencing issue there. Probably
So
would
Javelin
have been
will fight
good to
first.
start with the captain, and then you can save that CP roll for that really easy 4-inch charge. And then you go for the harder
4.
ones.
It hits.
5.
Yeah.
Because all that is really doing.
Back. Question mark. 2 attacks. Hit all 6s.
Is I guess it's making Cullen. He'll need to fall back with that Hornet and kill that Javelin in order to score that secondary again.
Oh.
I think I would have rather just seen that Hornet get targeted down and killed, but it is what it is.
2 attacks. Get back to
We do have to remember that for the Salamanders, we do have a big, this big aggressor bomb off the table. And next turn, they're going to be able to drop in on any table edge.
Okay.
Four attacks from the other javelin. Now stars in.
The javelins are 3 attack space, right?
Oh yeah. Oops. Well, yeah, shock assault. So this one does not. So it's only 3. Okay, 3 hits.
Whoa! Punches 3 times on that falcon. Oh, but it's okay. That javelin has it out for that falcon. Holy crap. But I am a little worried about, with this Hornet still on the table, with the ability of those aggressors to come in into a reasonable area. I do wonder if Cullen just pulls these platforms back to hold this objective, and then he can create some space with this Falcon, putting this Falcon here, so its anti-deep strike bubble covers most of that table edge. To really block off sort of anywhere on this area that those aggressors could jump in. That is a benefit of going first, obviously, in this matchup, is that you have so much more control over your screening than the second player does, or the second player would. And we did see that very much in this game versus the last game. Not to mention that this game is a long table edge deployment rather than the short table edge deployment. And so it is a lot easier to screen out because you have more of this table edge that you can interact with as the player screening out the deep strikers. So whereas Nick on the other game had sort of this area that he could generally interact with those reserves, Dan only has mostly these table edges here that are going to be reasonable drop zones that Cullen has to play for. And not to mention that the gun battery of these Warwalkers sort of making the drop into a forewarned very difficult is problematic. All right, well, we are seeing the Falcon actually retreat. So I wonder if those aggressors jump in here and we just see them eat the forewarned and hope that they live through it. Yeah, chat. Yeah, I guess Dan also has a engage on all fronts that he hasn't scored, so let's give him that, and then the 5 for bringing it down. Good call, chat.
Okay, psychic phase. My Farseer with guide and fortune is going to smite on your big boy, big juicy bike captain. Use my reroll.
Oh no! See, Dan has learned the secret ways of the TTS dice roller, and he uses new dice when he rolls his rerolls. But Cullen's using the same dice. They get the same result every time.
Okay, my other Farseer is going to smite on the captain.
So we are just flubbing over here, trying to take this captain out.
Hey, there
hey, we got one. All right, well, there you go. For one.
I'm going to spend my CP at generator this turn and reroll that too.
Yeah, this captain's not very aggressive, but oh boy. Oh, okay, there you go. He's going to take some
damage rolls for weapons. But okay.
For smite?
Oh, yeah.
Rerolls.
Yeah,
No,
you can't command reroll that.
Okay, it's just damage in general. Okay.
Doom.
Yeah, you can't command reroll the effects of psychic powers. Just damage rolls from weapons.
Oh, so you can't reroll.
That was a good catch from Dan there.
Okay, back up. So he's going to take
Then I'm going to cast Executioner on him. Goes off. Let's see that 3. See that 3. Nope. Look at that. Then we'll spend 1 CP to cast another spell. We'll cast Doom on him. And does
Yes.
Cullen, flub and doom over and over. Oh my
no,
gosh.
that was his first. I haven't done it for this guy yet. Okay, so he's gonna do his true reroll.
Oh, there we go.
You don't
Okay.
have to reroll. You just re 1 dice. Okay.
Yeah, you can up to dice. Okay. That's psychic phase is complete. Very impressive. Moving on. 5 rangers shooting at your captain.
Yep.
Big shock, I know. See them 3s. Artisan. Cool. See them 6s. Doom.
Get out of here, Rangers. You get nothing.
That's 5.
Trying as hard as we can to kill this captain.
13 times. I rolled nothing. 6 on those guys. Okay, moving on. Farseer's gonna shoot his pistol at you. Hits. Doom.
Luke McCarthy in the chat. Everyone knows that if you put a 1 in the dice roller, it's going to come out as a 1. Get out of here with this 1's turning into 6s. That never happens. Except when it does, but don't pay attention to those times. Only pay attention to the times where it does what I say it will.
Artisan. To a 1. Doom. Yeah. I hate tabletop sim sometimes. Next one. Next to it. Same target. 1 shot. Hey, hits. Reroll. Your top is 7?
Yep.
But minus 1 strength, correct? Or
Minus 1, 2 wound.
2 wound. Okay, so I need a 3. And I fail. Again. Okay. Cool. Moving on to the next one. Let's go to this one over here now. Okay, roll above a 1. Nope. Go ahead.
Viper Cannon's not loading their guns today,
No, I
unfortunately,
won't.
for Cullen.
Yep. 1 neg 3.
Re up.
Ooh, and he eats 2 damage on the bike. Amazing. We're finally getting there.
Moving on to the next one. Same target.
This bike is, this captain,
shots.
unfortunately, regretting not making
That's
into
the money
melee
shot.
with those
2.
Warwalkers. Hardcore.
Artisan. Into a miss.
Unfortunate. Definitely where
1
we
neg 3.
we would like to have seen a CP reroll on that charge.
Next one. 3 shots. Hey. 3 hits. Artisan. And Doom. 3, neg 3. Statistically, question mark?
You can only have a plus. Yeah, we're good. Good.
And you made them all. Womp womp. Oh. Last one. Same thing. That was a waste. How many shots? Dos. 2 hits. Doom. Into a miss. 1 wound, neg 3. Dice base game. Womp womp.
Is Cullen really complaining about not being able to kill the Salamander Chapter Master?
Last one.
Which what?
It's like one of the most difficult models in the game to kill, but it's okay. Don't worry about it, buddy.
Okay.
Oh my god.
1 shot. 1 hit.
Yeah.
1 wound, neg 1.
So we did fall back the Hornet away from the Javelin. We're gonna. I assume. I'm surprised that Cullen actually put this many support weapon platforms into it. I think I would have liked to have seen those go into the
that
Javelin,
sucks.
because if you kill that Javelin, he's going to start scoring those secondaries. That seems like a misplay on Cullen's part, in my opinion.
Falcon Heavy is just gonna shoot.
That surround them secondary is hard enough as it is to score, and when your opponent sort of gives you a little gift, which is that he leaves your unit on their objective alive, I think you have to take that when you can.
2 hits. 2 wounds, neg 3.
Womp womp. Star cannon. 2 hits.
6s.
5s.
You're
6s. Yep. 1 wound.
good.
And look at that. Womp womp. Super
What a boss.
exciting.
That's kind of, I think, what Dan needs this bike captain to do is just soak all this fire for a turn. That might be what he needs to start to get back into this game.
Nothing.
Um,
Oh. Cool. My falcon that's in combat is going to shoot at your guy. Pulse.
I think he did open up some potential areas where those aggressors could come on, although they still have to worry about that forewarn trigger
Artisan.
from the Farseer on the Warwalkers.
2 wounds. Take 3.
Take 1.
3 damage. Star cannon. Nothing. Small arm shots.
Chad, the higher velocity you eat your dice into the roller, the higher the roll.
Okay, so your assessors is that 1 big unit. So this is 1 big unit right here.
It's a 5-man squad.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, so I'm gonna shoot 1 over here, and I'm gonna put the other 2 on him.
All right, here come the Warwalkers, trying as hard as they can to take out this captain. What do we think, chat? Is this captain gonna die?
6 shots. Excuse me. 8 shots. Threes. Artisan.
6s.
6s. Fucking A, tabletop simulator. 1 wound. Take 3.
Save it, buddy. Yeah, get out of here, Eldar. You get nothing.
And then into the last squad. All hit. Artisan.
Yeah.
Nope, he's 2. Yep. Take 3.
Yep. D3.
Damage. I rolled a 1. Cool.
Amazing.
Okay. That sucks. I tried. Sorry, man. Womp womp. Okay, so we'll do the pulse over here, and just within 36, we'll do the final star cannon on him. We'll start with the star cannon. 2 hits.
Nick in the chat
Doomed.
should have gone after the Falcon
Nope,
and
not
support weapons
enough.
on the backside.
2 hits.
Um,
Artisan. 2 and make 3.
with what,
javelin?
Nick?
No.
What's the-
your multi guys?
What's the what's attacking the stuff on the backside?
Man, that could not have gone any better for you.
Are you talking about these models on Objective 2 here?
Cool. Yeah, that sucks. I think that's my turn. Cool. Super exciting. Did I kill anything? Question mark. I don't think I did. I don't think I killed anything. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. See, Dan, and you're all worried. All you gotta do is roll a metric shit.
I think Cullen also probably
and you can win any game.
just like forgetting that he has mental interrogation too,
Don't grunt.
because he can start
only
farming
took
CP off
6
of that
pyro
off of that
cannons,
captain, and
2
he's not right now.
warwalkers, 5
7.
snipers,
I'm not really sure what.
2 smites, an executioner. He took a falcon. He took a falcon with just his star cannons. I mean, he only took a few things.
The shield captain should have gone for the platforms and the Falcon on Objective 5. Yeah, probably.
Start your turn. You get 5
Yep.
points.
Sorry, command point.
Yep, get a command point. You got
And it's
your
consolidated behind the terrain. Which terrain does he consolidate behind?
I should have.
This is not
3.
obscuring. Just for everyone's edification, that's difficult terrain.
I should get 2 points off of. Which I already got. But I've consistently at least had 3.
Yeah.
I hate this. I hate this.
So we are back to Dan's turn. Only scoring 5 points on primary means that he's going to have a tough time to come back to... He can't max primary anymore. He could potentially max at 40 if he blows it out.
I don't know why you're complaining.
Really hardcore. But yeah, it looks like we're going to try to measure some line of sight here. But I think you just have to eat the forewarned at this point on the...
or can you check to see if that line is indicative of a line of sight off of your second war?
Because I'm not even sure what aggressors do if they drop in at that stage. They're not really attacking anything relevant. I think he maybe is trying a little bit too hard.
I think his back part.
Probably could place them here and start hitting that Falcon or these guys. You can burn that Falcon off objective 2. And then you're contesting this one. If you can kill these models with the captain, you can drop...
Yeah, hold on.
You can drop Cullen down to 2 objectives.
Okay, we're just going to declare it now. Both servitor squads and the tactical marines are going to raise banners.
Sure.
We're just going to...
Yeah, go for it.
Now, just keep in mind, you can't raise banners on an objective where there's an enemy model.
Ooh, snap.
Okay, so they're not.
I do think, Chad, I don't know if I hate the plan to go for the Warwalkers. The issue is that he just didn't roll that charge first, right? Because it's a 4-inch charge. It's really important. You can +1 to wound yourself, and you probably kill 1 to 2 of those Warwalkers, and then suddenly the threat of that forewarned next turn is gone, and I think that's the correct play.
I am staying tactical.
But the issue is that they... he just failed the charge. Like, that was the whole issue. And then even the swing back on him is going to be less powerful because you lose all of those hits from the those Warwalker guns.
Yeah, it was super good. See?
Because I think in Dan's head, the plan was probably to engage the Warwalkers or kill them, or at least knock them down to 1 or 2 models. And then next turn, he can drop the aggressors here or here, and then hit that Falcon with them without having to commit. Because he doesn't really have anything on this side of the table that can reach the Warwalkers effectively right now. Everything's kind of in melee and shooting each other. Kind of hope that this Javelin blows up the Falcon, though. That's sort of endlessly funny to me. But I am... Both these players are unfortunately giving up a lot of VPs here and there on secondaries. I'm not sure that we needed this guide Farseer to do anything. And... dropping a mental interrogation for an easy 3 VP on that captain, I think, would have been probably the correct play. The smites were a big deal on him, but you also have to score that secondary, and we're running out of time for Cullen to be able to score it. Obviously, he can only score 6 points off of it at this point. Like, might as well not even have picked that one. And then Cullen, obviously, overcommitting into that captain, I think, on the subsequent turn and not killing this Javelin also cost him another 4 VP on Surround Them. Just a lot of positions where he's dropping a lot of VP. And then, obviously, Dan making the misplay with the Raise the Banners on turn 1 was a big deal. And also missing a VP on Engage on All Fronts. But if Cullen doesn't swing those 2 secondaries back around, I think we could be in a position where the Salamanders start clawing this back. If Dan's able to make some big plays and pull out 2 15-point turns, which is not unheard of, especially since there's not a lot that can really threaten this objective. If he's able to able to get these assault intercessors on there, there's not a lot that can shoot them. And what is he going to do? Like, charge a Farseer into them and hope that that works out well? Like, the Warwalkers probably won't be able to get to that objective. And a lot of the fast stuff is dead. Maybe this Falcon leaves, but
I forgot to do litanies.
if we start to see those aggressors come down and burn down these backline guns, that could force off any of the threats that could engage this. So, I don't know. What do we think in chat? Do we think Dan has the game plan to pull this game back? I don't think it's over by any stretch of the imagination.
All right. The Eradicators will advance. Spend a command point.
Okay. Tabletop sim for the win.
CP rerolling
On a high
an
note, you
aggressor
did double.
advance.
5. You're
Oh, oops, shit.
You're behind that one.
Yeah, their Gravis armor. They're heavy boys.
It
That was
was right at,
exact.
that was right at D7. Was that the?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should be just outside range there.
Yeah, at least these guys will be. It's sort of insane that those guns are assault weapons. To be honest, being able to advance and shoot them is great, and it does still give them targets on these vibro cannons as well. Those Eradicators could potentially 1-for-1 vibro cannons. Although it is a little awkward for them to shoot it because they do have to, if they want to get their double tap, they do all have to target a single weapon, which super duper overkills it. Dragonstar in the chat. The Eradicators have to go on the offensive. They can destroy a lot of vehicles, but keeping them in the corner is a mistake. Yeah. I think Dan's placement was correct on them because he wanted to kill the 2 Hornets that were here, which he did, which is good. But he also didn't want these guys to immediately just get killed. So if he places them, I think the forward most he could have placed them was here. And if he puts them here when they deep strike in or they reserve in last turn, they just like everything shoots them, right? They're just such priority targets. Whereas keeping them behind the ruin gave them only 1 threat, which wasn't able to take them out. And it means that they can do exactly what they're doing now. They can just start advancing and start killing these things.
That should put me within side 12.
I wonder if we're going to be looking for a bolt storm here
Intercessors and 3 Rangers.
on these guys to auto hit them 15 times. That should kill that unit. -1 to hit or not. Or maybe just trying to ignore their automatic cover from Masters of Concealment. The bolt storm doesn't seem efficient to me. But taking out those OPSEC is going to be a big deal, especially if that captain ends up going that direction. Luke McCarthy in the chat.
All right.
Saying it looks like the Salamanders could pull it out. This is a pretty big swing turn. I don't know what's happening in my overlay here. I'm going to try to fix that. Apologize if we get a little hiccup on this stream. I'm going to refresh my overlay. DL, subscribing to the channel. I appreciate
gotta
the
go
subscription.
see
I hope you keep it on the
I'll be
DL,
right
though.
back.
Okay.
Don't tell everybody.
Because I still got a YouTube strike.
We're YouTube's best kept
I'll be
secret.
right back.
So Dan, I think getting ready to consider his reserve placements here. Still worried about those Warwalkers, although he hasn't moved his captain yet. Hope he doesn't forget about that guy. Also, Laser Guns subscribing to the channel. Sick. I think we need more laser guns on this channel for sure. Pew, pew.
The fastest P I've ever seen. Not that I'm watching.
Yeah, there goes the captain. Nyah, nyah. Gonna try to punch that Falcon out. But if all goes well for the Salamanders, and they're able to hold down Objective 3, they can potentially clear the middle of any Eldar, and clear 5. And they already hold this one. That would put Cullen down to 5 points on the subsequent turn. And at that point, all that Dan needs to do is to make sure he doesn't lose basically one of these objectives and lose his lead. He's certainly going to lose this one, and he may lose this one. This one, it's going to be hard for him to grab. Unless he can drop those aggressors in and kill this Falcon, that would be a big swing. Although, man, there's so many Vibro Cannons still left on this side of the table that it's going to be tough to... Is he...
Am I back? Question mark.
Yeah, Dan, you're muted, FYI, in Discord right
That's
now.
awkward.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
All right, we fixed it. So, yeah, there's so many Vibro Cannons, they could just turn around and grab these objectives, but Cullen will lose that one for scoring on the next turn anyway. It's going to be tight, but, I mean, if Salamanders can pull out 40 points in the primary, I think it's unlikely that Cullen doesn't get 40 points in the primary. He has to hold one next turn and probably hold 2 the turn afterwards.
2 of them can see him.
Sure about the 2?
Yep.
Because this line goes over the... Right here.
You have to look at it from point to point on the base by overhang from the back end of the vehicle.
That goes traffic. Is that not over the terrain?
Yeah, so basically, yeah, from the back edge of their line of sight, I think this is the line they're going to be blocked at, so you probably need to shuffle back that front guy like a quarter of an inch or so. And then, they'll be out of line of sight at that point.
Pew, pew, pew.
That is, chat, just want to point out the most incredible innovation. It's not really an innovation because every other miniatures game does it besides 40K, but The best edition from 9th edition is the edition of this obscuring terrain, and especially on the isometric view on Tabletop Simulator, it is so easy to determine what is in or out of line of sight.
Cool.
You just make sure
no
that
phase.
you can measure a line between the
shoot
models
phase.
and make sure that line doesn't cross over this piece of terrain, and you're good to go.
Is going to shoot.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna shoot at him.
Huh?
I didn't say I wasn't gonna shoot at him. I was just gonna shoot one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna might as well spend the 2 CP. Got nothing else to spend it on.
It looks like we are going to have to
we're
spend
gonna
Hold on.
2
Before
CP
you-
to
hold
drop
on.
one
Yep, go for it.
Warwalker into them. All right.
So, you get 4 shots,
You got it.
hitting on 3s, 1 reroll.
It's I don't know, it seems a little aggressive from Cullen. But also, I'm not sure if I love this placement from the aggressors.
Tabletops. Okay, there we go.
I
3.
wonder if there was a position where they could have dropped. I didn't really want to try to measure it out super far before, but
Artisan. 2 and egg 3.
I guess there isn't a position where they could have
1.
dropped to be in dense cover from these
3
guys. Yeah, they would have been in.
Best 2 CP ever.
Although I think they could have dropped just back here. No, maybe not. Oh, maybe actually. Oh, I'm looking at it.
All right, shooting phase then.
I think you have like sort of this area
Talking.
Mm-hmm.
that you could maybe have fit the aggressors into, although they are big bases, so maybe not. That would have been brutal though if they could fit them there. Even if you lose one, it's probably worth it. The forewarned would be a -1, and
Nope.
but we did kill an aggressor with that Warwalker. All right, maybe that was worth.
Profile.
Yeah.
With those strategic reserve rules now coming into play in 9th edition, man, forewarned is such a powerful ability.
I'd be my final form. Truly unstoppable at that point.
We're gonna put 15 bolter shots into the.
I'm not 100% sure you can transhuman into the forewarned, can you?
Actually, no, we're not. We're gonna throw a frag grenade from the captain, or frag grenade from the captain. Frag grenade.
It's kind of. I'm interested to know why Dan keeps throwing grenades rather than just shooting his bolt guns on that captain. I think the bolt guns almost always, unless you're shooting at a big unit of really low toughness stuff, the bolt guns are almost always going to out damage the grenade.
Cool.
Lieutenant's gonna shoot twice into them.
Sure.
Three wound. 1 is 1 mortal.
They're dead. Next.
Alright. This javelin's gonna shoot that Farseer.
Go for it.
That's Horizon.
Oh yeah, transhuman. I apologize, chat. Transhuman isn't phase locked, so you can actually, you could do it in response to the forewarned. Yeah, that's probably the play.
Good.
Is just to dump them on that side. Like we mentioned, I mean, I've been mentioning since like round 2. Dan's so low on this flank. I think dropping the aggressors there, he has the firepower now to come in and start knocking down these support weapon platforms. Which is going to be good, but he needs something else there. And the aggressors would be what do it. And, a Crucible of Battle on this guy, plus the counter stationary to double tap it, probably kills that thing. Because we are still in Tactical Doctrine, and that is a big old swing.
Put shots into there. They're hitting on 2s. That's Horizon. Winning on. You're not the close target, are you actually? I need to do this by. I need to reroll that. Yeah, I need to reroll that. Sorry. Poor form apart. The 6 over there are going to be for.
I have no idea what's going on right now.
I have the litany for +1 to wound, but it has to be the closest target.
Okay.
So these 2 right here have +1 to wound against the support system.
Got it.
So I need to re-roll these.
Sure.
Hitting on 2s.
Yep, no worries. And they advanced too, didn't they?
hitting on 3s, correct. Then winning on 5s. 4 AP1.
Ooh.
Felwyn.
Apparently we want to see my files.
Are you within 12? I don't. Are you within 12?
Yeah.
He's dead. He's dead. Next. Let's keep going.
Okay. Sure. The Eradicators are going to shoot that support system.
Okay, he's dead. Next.
Probably fair, but that is funny to
Cool.
have Cullen just just pull his models.
Intercessors here charging this.
Cool.
All right, well, Dan's obsecking that objective away. This is what he needs to be doing. He has the potential to take out Objective 5 as well. He's already contesting it.
Servitor 1 is gonna
He's
charge
knocked
your-
CBRN down to only a single objective going into the top of 4. And this is where the Salamanders could potentially take back this game and make up that lead. It's only a 10-point deficit for the Salamanders. And a little bit of that is self-inflicted, I think, on CBRN's part, because he is missing out on so many of those mental interrogation points.
Yeah, 7-inch charge here.
They advanced.
They did. Jesus Christ, you're correct.
Yep.
This javelin is going to charge both support systems.
Sure. Ooh, there's the 11.
He's going to base both.
Looks like the defensive placement on those aggressors made it so that they couldn't even fire this turn. I think that's a little frustrating. Not having that huge damage output the turn that they come in is going to be brutal. And we're going to try to Overwatch with the Falcon.
Artisan. Nope. Star Cannon.
Down to 1 CP.
Nope. And small arms fire.
Missed it all.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
Cool.
The good news is here, I can't fail this charge.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
Finally.
Just like,
Yeah, he's going to charge in.
yep, he's there.
The Eradicators did advance this turn, so they couldn't have charged.
We'll start with
They got an extra
servers.
2-inch advance because they were back in the corner back here. Chat.
Should be 3 attacks, hitting on 5s. Hitting on 6s, I think. Actually.
Okay. Yeah, no worries.
Yep, hit on 6s, so 3 attacks. No rerolls. Hey.
Yeah, this game does feel it feels a little punty to me. It's certainly not the. It's a bit of a sloppy game, I think, from both of these players,
Servitor strategy.
both on from an execution standpoint and just a sort of gameplay standpoint.
I'm gonna be spending 2 command points. How many command points? 2 command points. So I'm doing Crucible of Battle, +1 to wound. I have +1 strength, and 6s are double damage.
Woo!
Maybe don't worry about that.
Yeah, we're gonna swing in real hard with this with the captain on the bike to try to knock this Falcon off, and that's gonna be a big swing if he's able to do it.
Okay, yeah. And then we'll just
And I wonder if Eugene Rot might use Assault Intercessors, to be honest, and
Alright, so he
try to
has-
force through the damage on this Falcon.
5 attacks, Thunderhammer, He's hitting on 3s, rolling 1s. He is strength 9 with the plus 1 to wound.
6 to double damage. I got it. Too easy. Blow that tank up. Because my tank's gonna blow up and kill him.
That would be pure poetic justice right there.
Hitting on 3s. Rerolling
Ooh,
ones.
gross.
5 hits.
Here we go. 2s to wound. And they all wound. 3 of them are double damage. Oh, no.
Out of 1.
Yeah, he's dead. Oh, my gosh.
So, how much damage? 15? Does he blow up?
That was more than 15 damage there, bud.
He does not.
that was like 25, right? 18, 24 damage. That was a casual 24 damage from that Thunderhammer, chat.
They get 3 attacks. 3s.
All
And
in.
5s.
Ah, that Gene Rot Might would have been so clutch there. Oh, no. That was 4 6s. It could have automatically wounded. Now instead it takes 1. Oh, brutal.
Next.
Ah,
Javelin will swing into.
that would have been sick, chat. That would have been the sick play.
3s. That's artisan. 5s. That's artisan.
These javelins in melee are so brutal.
1 damage.
Amazing. All right. Well,
Then you nominate one to fight.
Just go, man. Keep rolling. What do you want to do next?
the Salamanders are doing what they need to fight back. Yeah, we're gonna hype up to 7 or pump up to 7 on engage on all fronts. For Dan, I think he really does need to kill this Falcon though.
On you.
Yeah.
Okay. Support weapon 1. Cool. Actually, we'll start with the Hornet. Hornet 6s. Got a 6. Got 1 hit. 1 wound on the server.
Whatever it is, they're saved.
He saved.
I said he failed. Whatever the save was.
Oh,
I rolled 1.
okay. Support weapons, first one. Artisan. 6. 1 wound.
On the
Support weapon in here.
AP weapon or any AP.
As far as I know, Dan only scored 2 for the first 2 rounds.
Hits.
He had models in these 3 quarters, but this one was clear. So this will be the first round he'll double score. Although he could have double scored to turn 1 and he flubbed it.
You pick. I don't care. One attack.
Intercessors.
And he has scored 0 banner so far. That score's correct.
Nope. Okay, cool. Start of my turn. I will do a little feature check on the servitors. 1.
Leadership 7. Leadership 6. Yeah. Whatever you want.
Don't roll a 6. Okay, cool. My turn. Gain a point.
Well, the real testament for this game or for this turn is to see whether Cullen actually starts using mental interrogation. He's down to potentially giving 6 points from that instead of the max 15 he could be getting.
Right here. Let's try that.
And it's not like Dan's characters haven't been extremely aggressive this game either. They've been pushing up really far. That captain has been on the midline of the table basically every turn besides the first one.
There.
I don't have a banner token, but banner.
You have 1 pen, yeah. Uno.
We can get him a banner token. We can make it happen. What's a good banner? There's a little banner flag over here, right? Oh no, there's not. What?
Here.
Rude.
He's the one that's.
Here you go.
Get over there. Okay. Shooting. My Hornet's gonna shoot at the guys that are in combat with it. Let's see if I can kill those
There's a
little
banner,
munchkins.
everybody.
These little demon dudes. 6 shots. Or second phase, excuse me. They get a second phase. We're gonna smite your captain on the bike.
see what we can do here, boys. Come on. Smite. Captain on the bike. Super.
Super smart.
Oh no! A super smite onto the captain.
2. Just barely.
Kills him exacties. Ooh.
Yeah, no, go for it. Is that not a salamander rule? Okay, moving on. They're gonna execute aggressor.
How tempted would you be to from the ashes that guy just to like rub it in a little bit? Like, I don't know, he might come back though. If that was the shooting phase, I think you 100% from the ashes, right? For the 4+ to respawn.
Get close.
Force those guys to try to kick him to death in melee.
Yeah, that sucks. Really could use that to go off.
Oh, hold up. I do have the. Sorry. From the ashes.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, just at least force something to turn around and hit him.
It's a 4-up, stand him up.
Oh, okay. Cool. So 4 up, he gets back up.
Oh, we are gonna from the ashes. Okay.
I like it.
Hey, there he goes.
Yep, he does.
So, yeah.
So how many moves does he have left?
1 left.
So if that's the case,
It's end of
then
phase,
I'm gonna execution with him, because that would negate my
it's a-
roll. Oh, I
no,
got you.
It's end of phase.
Okay, got you. Okay, my other farseer is gonna smite into that vehicle.
Hold up, quick. Do I get it back on the 5-up?
Yeah, I mean, as we've seen though, I mean, honestly, at the very least, just eating all of the Warwalkers shooting for a turn is probably worth 2 CP, right?
Wow, I rolled an 11.
Like,
so
if that's what you
I'm
want to be
gonna
doing,
roll that,
I mean, just make it happen.
Smite off. Nope. Unlucky. 3 mortals.
On the javelin?
Yeah.
That captain, I mean, if anything's MVP for Dan, even after failing that charge, oh boy, is it that captain. Just
Died on
eating so much damage and bouncing it off his storm shield. What a boss that guy is. And I think, honestly, like, tilting Cullen. I think Cullen's, like,
Hornet's gonna shoot into those guys.
his mental state is deteriorating as this game goes on, and this captain just continues to eat his entire army worth of shooting multiple turns in a row. But, I mean, you could just mental interrogation that guy. Feed him some rangers and interrogate his mind.
I'm gonna spend 2 for self-sacrifice.
Okay. What is that? What brings it back?
No. Yeah, the tactical marines are gonna.
Oh, they're gonna self-sacrifice for
$5.
the aggressors.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, too easy. Okay. So we're just gonna say 4 hits on them. I think you're 2-3.
Where are we going?
4 wounds onto those servers.
Oh, with the
In 3.
I think they have like 5 up there. 4 up save. AP3, you said?
Negative, yeah. Go, that's a piece.
On the 6 up then?
What's
The
their
4?
level save?
It's not invul. They're 4 up, but they're in cover. Light cover.
Who's self-sacrificing over here?
The tactical marines for the aggressors?
Okay.
No? Can I not do that?
I mean, it's a legal play, so.
Am I? Okay. And okay.
I just
So you took the -1 to hit the servitors, correct?
this is an awkward situation. Chad, I don't really want to discuss it with the players too much because I don't want to sort of give
sixes.
away information.
How do you have 6 as your neg 3?
4 up saves,
Okay.
and I'm in light cover.
But the self-sacrifice only works if the
I mean,
the self-sacrificing unit is closest and visible.
Am I not on light cover?
I don't know. I don't know.
Trevor?
Okay. Oh, it doesn't matter. You just made 3 out of. Don't care. You just made 3 out of 4 of them. So this game's going great. Okay, moving on. The one that's in combat with your javelin.
Yeah, those guys are definitely in light cover. I don't know what there's a
How many shots?
conversation there.
Shots. Need the 4 to hit. 2 hits. Artisan. 2
2 wounds against your javelin.
Big one for 3 up.
Cool. Next one, same target. How many shots? 1. Cool. Yep. Tabletop sim. Okay, moving on. We'll just start fire cannon at him.
Who?
Your commander, or the guy on the bike.
These intercessors are closer. As will the javelin.
Is he within 6 and 3 inches of anyone?
Oh, fair point. Yeah, good point. Good call.
Okay, cool. Yep. Artisan.
No, chat. The intercessors are not within
Cool.
6 inches
Next
of
one,
those
same
aggressors,
target.
so they couldn't self-sacrifice for them anyway. But the intercessors are not the self-sack target. The tactical marines are the self-sack target, so they actually don't block any shooting because they're inside a building.
2 wounds. Egg.
So we just have to make sure
Next
that
one, same target.
Dan doesn't misrepresent how that
1
stratagem
shot.
works.
Hits. Artisan. 1 wound, egg 3. Cool. Hey man, I'm actually just good at this game, so let's just call it right here. I'll concede.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, we're at 3 hours. So yeah, this is pretty straight. This is easy to count up. So you're gonna deny me here, okay? You're gonna control this one for the game.
Are we talking about the reverse concede here?
Troops on this one.
Okay.
15 points next turn. I am unable to get this secondary. If you look over here, because I haven't been able to successfully cast against your guys. So I'm gonna be 0 with that. I won't be able to get any more secondaries over here.
Okay.
Bring it down. I've been unable to get anything higher than that. And then I'm just gonna be 1 for next turn.
All right,
That will be
everybody.
My final score. You will hold 3, 3.
Yeah, it looks like the salamander comeback was possible, and that's what they're mathing out right here.
Okay, so you're gonna be at 3 plus another 3, so that's 6. Because you have to get your original 3 plus your other 3.
Yeah, I think Cullen's
'cause
calling it.
I can't. So here's
With
I can't-
the reverse
I
concession.
can't get you off
Jesus.
objective.
I apologize, chat. This is
I am unable to kill you here.
hopefully not the level of competition that we'd like to see on the Invitational.
Correct.
And there's nothing I can do about it because everything's either locked in combat, which you're just gonna feed guys into here to keep you locked in combat. They're gonna kill him next turn, which will pull me off that objective. Correct?
Yep.
Yeah. He's hitting the table flip button at this point because the table's too tilted. All of his models are sliding
and if
off.
they're unable to kill him, which is a statistical chance they might not be able to kill him, then you're just gonna run me out the board and you'll have all the victories. Do you
Fair enough.
disagree
Yeah.
with any of those points?
Nope.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, that was good. I mean, you saved him saving last turn. What did he get? Very well. He's pretty good. He's pretty good if you make those 3 up saves, and I have to admit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is. No, I mean, like, yeah, because you know you just have too much stuff in the middle, and everything in mine's locked in combat, so I'm not able to kill it.
Fair enough.
I mean, unless you see differently.
No, I know you're right. I'm just
can
trying to
play it
come
out.
to grips. No, I'm trying to come to grips that you're right. Like, holy shit, you're right.
Yeah, all you have to do is make 3 up saves, man. That's all you got to do. You can
And
win the game
4
pretty easily.
Stand up back.
Yeah, no, but that was he's still him stopping last turn because you got to think he took 6 Viros, made them all. He took 2 spikes.
all right, chat. Well, there's that game.
Entire Falcon, the Rangers.
That happened. I think that actually was tactically a very interesting game, but I think the players we're just tilting each other for the most part.
And you also
So
have to realize
I think probably some suboptimal decisions being made there,
They made
and
yeah. I mean, it's it's a dice-based game. But yeah, because like I was supposed to kill 2 of these last turn, didn't kill any. So
yeah, I think Cullen. I think the Salamanders. That turn is like we were saying, chat. That turn was what the turn the Salamanders needed to swing back around in the game and come back and score. Exactly what they did here. But Cullen certainly had outs to play for, and he just decided to call it instead of doing that, which is, I mean, it's his prerogative, but certainly not the decision I would have made. I think were I in his shoes.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So we'll get those scores entered up, but that'll be the result of the game. I think that will most likely put Cullen out of running for the top 8 at 0-2. Unless we have some crazy tiebreakers happen, but we will see how his last game goes and how the rest of the group stage goes. Because if we have a 3-0 in this group stage, then we could potentially see a 1 and 2 jump in.
Outside of just forgetting the banner, I don't think anything wrong.
I didn't. I should have left servitors here originally.
Because you kept it in reserve, right?
Yeah.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, you got to think like you had like this was the list works good.
So I wasn't expecting the Falcon to be.
So, yeah, we'll go ahead and call the stream here, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for watching. A bit of an awkward game. A little strange, if I do say so myself. But that will happen, especially when we're loading a new edition. A little funky that it happens in the top 16 Invitational, but it is what it is. We will be back online. If I pull up the schedule here. We'll be back online tomorrow. I have some good games lined up. We will be on at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard with Grey Knights versus Denise Creations of Bile. Denise coming back on the channel, I think a fan favorite right now with his 60 possessed list, which is going to be sick, and that is going to be co-commentated by Scary from Scarredcast. So that's going to be awesome. There's another game being played a couple hours later. That's going to be a Chaos Mirror match, I think between Dan K and Phil Barfoot. And I will we'll jump into that one if we have any time after the Grey Knights versus Chaos game. So yeah, just tune in tomorrow 2 p.m. Eastern Standard. Obviously, we're gonna have a bunch more, and then Saturday we have some more games. We'll have some Astra Militarum versus Space Wolves, and Sunday we'll be live all day with more games from groups 1 and 2. So that's going to be sick. Obviously, we're also going to be live throughout the rest of the week with more invitational coverage, and then next weekend, starting August 13 through 16, we're going to be live with or 14 through 16, excuse me. We're going to be live with the top 8 single elimination games. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, and keep it classy, folks.